Alright, let's talk about comparing numbers. So in the 5th grade, when we compare numbers, we want to use place value to help us, and we also want to use the correct vocabulary. Alright, so first let's talk about our place value. So we know we have our ones, we have our tens, hundreds, thousands, go 10,000s, 100,000s, and so on and so forth, and it would keep going. Alright, and remember when we talked about it, we said every time we move to the left, so every time we go up, it is 10 times more. Alright, so this 10 is 10 times more than the ones place. Our hundreds place is 10 times more than the tens. Our thousands place is 10 times more than our hundreds. Our 10,000s is 10 times more than our thousands. And our 100,000s is 10 times more than our 10,000s. Alright, so every time we move this way, we are getting larger. But now what happens when we move the opposite way? So, again, when we move to the left, we are getting 10 times larger. When we move to the right, we're going to do the opposite. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So we are, you can say dividing by 10, or the proper way to say it is 1/10 less. So the 10,000s place is 1/10 less than the hundreds, thousands. The thousands place is 1/10 less than the 10,000s place. Hundreds place is 1/10 less than the thousands place. Our tens place is 1/10 less than the hundreds. And our ones place is 1/10 less than the tens place. Alright, so every time you move to the right, it's gonna be 1/10 less. But now let's think about this. If I go from, use a different color, let's try orange. So if I go from ones to, let's say, hundreds, how much larger is the hundreds place than the ones place? So this is 10 times, and then 10 times. 10 times 10 is going to equal how much? 100. So the hundreds place is 100 times larger than the ones place. Alright, and let's say I go from the tens to the, we'll say 10,000s. So now I'm starting at the tens place and I'm going to the thousands place. So that's 10 times 10 times 10. So that's 10 3 times. So 10 times 10 times 10 is going to be how much? 1,000. Remember, we just take our whole number and then we put the 3 zeros on the end. However many zeros we have is how many go on the end. Alright, so now let's look up here at our comparisons. So it says the value of 3 in 130, so I'm looking here, is blank the value of 3 in 513. Alright, so I'm comparing my 3's. I know this 3 is in the tens place, and this 3 is in the ones place. So it wants to know this 3 compared to this 3. What is the value in comparison? So I'm going to kind of erase some of this. So we just said as we move to the left, we're getting 10 times larger, right? So I'm at the tens place, and I'm comparing it to my ones place. 1 in comparison to the tens, or tens, I'm sorry, in comparison to the ones, is 10 times the value. So I would say the value of 3 in 130 is 10 times the value of the 3 in the ones place, or the 3 in 513. All right, let's look at our next one. It says, what is the value of 3 in 513, or the value of 3 in 513 is blank the value of 3 in 130. So now we're comparing the ones place to the tens place. So remember, when that place value is smaller, it is 1/10 less. So the value of 3 in 513 is, and you can simply say 1/10 the value of the 3 in 130. Because again, when we are comparing the smaller one to the larger one, it is 1/10 less, but when we are going from the larger number, looking at a smaller number, the larger number is 10 times more of that value. All right, and now let's try one more. The value of the 6 in 16,052 is blank the value of 6 in 12,263. All right, so this place is the 10,000th place. And this is the tens place. So now I need to see how much larger is this 6 in comparison to this 6. So I'm going to start my tens place. So I know this is 10, and we got to keep jumping until we get to 10,000. So this is 10 times more, and we're counting by our powers of 10, so we're multiplying 10 each time. Then we jumped another 10 times. So this is 10 times, 100 times, and this last one is 1,000 times. So the value of this 6 in the 10,000th place is 1,000 times the value of the 6 in the tens place. All right, hope this helps. Now go ahead and do the work on your slide.